So wait, Neo was right? Saucey fam, what's up? How you guys doing, man? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me. I got some more weird and wackiness for you. Top 10 bizarre glitches in the Matrix that are too real to ignore. Neo was onto something, okay? It wasn't a dream after all. This one should be interesting. I have seen some things in my time, in the time that I spent in this, like, paranormal, extraterrestrial world of social media and content creation. I've seen some things. Some of it, kind of like the title says, is just way too real. And, I don't know. Hopefully they can shed some light on some of them. If you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel. Join the best family on YouTube. This also found. We're almost at 200 patrons. I'm pretty sure I just thanked you guys for 160. Like, we have literally caught up and blew by other Patreon pages for YouTubers with, like, 5, 6, 8, 9 times more subscribers than the Saucey fam has. Just further validating my points of how ridiculously incredible this group of people that I've found, or that have found me, rather, are. You guys are so awesome. So I'm doing my best to put out more content than all of those guys, because you're showing me so much more support. And I just feel like one hand washes the other, you know? So if that's something you're interested in, links in the description. Let's check this out.
Starting off at number 10, the Reddit user Watermelly3 posted this story. So she states that her experience happened a couple of years ago when she went to pick up her husband from the ferry after work. While pulling out of the parking lot, they noticed two individuals heading to their car. These individuals were strangers to each other. One was a man reaching into his bag, while the lady had her head positioned to the right. She claims that these individuals were completely frozen in these positions. The wife and the husband sat in the car watching the frozen strangers, and they were completely in shock. Then she claims that it was like someone pressed play on a remote and they just continued on like nothing happened. Now there is only one explanation for this. Adam Sandler got hold of the remote from the movie Click Again. I love that movie. Kidding, but seriously, that's definitely a huge glitch to experience. Moving on to number 9. One night.
See, and that just actually jogged a couple memories of mine. Have you guys seen the birds frozen in the air? Before you roll your eyes and can just assume that it's fake, whatever I'm talking about, look it up. It is strange is not even the word, man. Like, one of them, I think it's in Mexico, and they're in this part of the, they're in this place that has these really narrow roads. It's like a downtown type of area. This pickup truck stops right underneath this bird that is literally frozen in the sky, but not too high up off the road. Like, I don't know. He had to climb in the bed of his truck and grab a broom, and he could barely reach it. And he, like, hit it a couple times. You could see it, him hitting it. And then it just, like, kept flying. What? What is life?
A group of friends and roommates were hanging out together in their apartment. Now, one of the roommates just got a new phone, and she was sitting on the bed using it while all the other girls socialized. There was a moment when the roommate placed the phone down to be involved in the conversation. A few minutes later, she reached for her phone and it was gone. The girls call for it, but they can't find the phone. They strip the room and bed apart looking for the phone, but it's nowhere to be found. The girls began to become weirded out since no one had left the room during the conversation. They ended up going out to her car and they found the phone in the car, locked in the trunk. They were all
We're not duplicating stories now, are we?
all in the same room, witnessed the girl on the phone and placing it on the bed, yet somehow it teleported down 3 floors and into the trunk of the car. That is so trippy. Unless the girls were heavily under the influence, there's no reasonable explanation for that. Let's move on to
I mean, it's still insane, but that was literally in the last video that we watched, or 2 videos ago, something like that.
number 8. This next story comes from the Reddit user White Zombie Cat. Now, this man recounts his and his wife's experience with a glitch in the Matrix. He states that he went out with his wife for dinner one night. When he returned home, they opened the door and he saw his wife on the computer doing work. He claims that he is normally greeted with this image when he arrives home from work, except it was impossible this time because his wife was right beside him. Later that night, he tells his wife what he saw, and she claims that she too saw herself sitting at the computer. I mean, I was going to say maybe his brain created the image in his mind, since he stated that.
Oh wow, I just had the most intense chills and goosebumps. Woo! Okay.
This is what he normally sees when he opens the door after work, but then he said that his wife saw it too. That's so strange. Moving on to number 7. This next story happened a couple of years ago. One day, this woman was in Best Buy when she came across the last book in the
Hey, Stephen King. Mainer alert. We don't have much, okay? Leave me alone. I gotta call it out when I see it, because we have like 2 people that other people know about. And that's it. Anna Kendrick and Stephen King. You're welcome.
Stephen King series, The Dark Tower. The front of the cover had a picture of the character Roland in front of the tower with a field of roses behind him. She was a little confused as to why this book was in Best Buy, but she just continued on with her day. She was a fan of the series, had read the first 6, and wanted to buy this last one, but her money situation was tight at the time, so she just put the book back down and planned on buying it the next week. However, when she returned the following week, it wasn't there. A month later, she went to Barnes & Noble to get the copy when they said it had not come out yet. It was to come out in 6 months. When the book did come out 6 months later, the book cover was exactly how she remembered it. Now, authors do send out copies in advance to certain people to promote it, but she can't fathom how someone could accidentally leave this book on a shelf in Best Buy. What do you think of the story? Is Stephen King just really good at marketing, or was it a glitch in the Matrix? Let me know down.
I've actually met him before, and let me tell you, he's not as peaceful as he looks in that picture they just showed. He looks very scary. Very scary. Especially at 5:30 in the morning when you're still like, you know, and then you walk into the store and you just happen to look over at the counter and you just see this like thing from The Hobbit standing there with a cane. He walks with a cane, a very creepy cane at that, a big black trench coat. I'm like, oh my god. And I only knew it was him because there was people like fanboying and fangirling. Just this little hole in the wall gas station.
Down below. On to number 6. Now, Disney World is known as the happiest place on earth, so nothing freaky or glitchy would happen there, right? Well, wrong. Think again. This next story surrounds a girl and her family when they took a trip to Disney. She was 6 years old at the time, and she and her family went to watch a parrot show. In the middle of the show, she had to go to the bathroom, so her mom took her while her dad stayed with her sister to watch the show. When they returned from the bathroom, the whole place was empty, so they decided to go back to the bathroom to wait for her dad and sister. They waited there looking for them for 2 hours before deciding to go back to the hotel to wait for them there. However, while waiting at the bathroom area, the girl saw a lizard and squirrel fighting. This may sound insignificant now, but just hold on. So when her dad and sister finally returned to the hotel, they claimed that they too were waiting at the same spot outside of the bathrooms for them. They never saw each other, but both of the sisters said that they saw the lizard and squirrel fighting from the exact same spot on the bench. How is that possible? How did they both see the same thing from the same position, but they weren't even together? Like, seriously, what is going on? We are now at our halfway mark with number 5. This next individual posted a story about meeting someone who no longer exists. In October of 2018, this woman developed tendinitis in her hand.
I believe that's called a ghost.
and had to go see a hand specialist. The hand specialist was a Vietnamese woman with glasses and straight dark brown hair. She describes this woman as really happy and talkative. She even said that they had an in-depth conversation about her tendinitis and how this woman attended a conference that discussed the rise of people developing tendinitis from their phone usage. Now, the specialist stated that if after a few weeks her hand wasn't getting better, to come back to be re-examined. So a couple of weeks later, she returned to see the same doctor. However, the woman appeared completely different. This woman was Caucasian with no glasses and light brown hair. They had different personalities, were not the same woman, but had the same name. The woman then described to the new specialist of her encounter with the other woman. This new specialist said that it was only her there with that name. Later, she did some research and looked at the hospital directory, but still couldn't find the Vietnamese specialist. She even double-checked her records, and both of her visits say the same doctor's name on them. So it wasn't like she did see two different people. So she claims that she met someone that no longer exists. Now, I was thinking about this. Was this woman an imposter? Probably not. But maybe her other doctor wasn't in during her first appointment and she had the Vietnamese woman as a replacement for that day. Now, there are tons of studies that prove that even our brain can play tricks on us and our memories can fail us. So let's say that she went to go to the office, her doctor wasn't in, and instead she saw the specialist that was filling in, which was the Vietnamese woman. Maybe she didn't catch the woman introduce herself, and since it was just her first time there, she just assumed that the Vietnamese woman was just the regular specialist she would be seeing. That's the only logical explanation I could come up with. If you have any more theories, let me know down below. Alright, moving on to number 4. This story happened about 15 years ago. This one man called up his friend, and when there was no answer, he left a message on his answering machine. In the message he said, "Hey, it's me. Sorry I missed your call. Call you later. Bye." He went on with his day until he got a call from his friend asking what the deal with the message was and asking who the girl he was with was. But he stated that he wasn't with a girl. So the friend brought him over to his house and they listened to the message together. After his message that he recorded, there was about 30 to 40 more seconds of him talking to some girl. He knew it was himself because he recognized his own voice and mannerisms, but he doesn't know who the girl was, nor does he remember even leaving that half of the message. He claims that the conversation that he had with the girl was about going skiing and then him having to go to his car shop and work on his car first. Then the message ended. To this day, he can't explain what happened or even figure out who the girl he was talking to was. Next,
we lived in a very, some of you might know this, but a lot of you don't. We lived in a very interesting house with a lot of things that would happen for no reason. We had a message left on our answering machine. Gives me chills to this day every time I bring it up, and I've talked about it a lot since I started making content, but it was a woman beating her daughter. It was so sad, but the most terrifying thing that I have ever heard. Like, it was so exaggerated. We had caller ID on every phone in the house, 0 missed calls, but this like 10-minute long message on the answering machine, and you couldn't really make out what they were saying. You could just make out a really deep female voice that was like walking super heavy, really loud steps, just chilling. And then you'd hear this sweet little voice, and you could just kind of make out, it was almost like the Charlie Brown teacher. You couldn't make out words, but that's kind of what they sounded like, you know? Like they were talking through, like, I don't know, a couple walls over or something, you know? And all of a sudden, you just hear this, like, this super loud bang. All of us jumped. And then the little voice is gone and stopped. You don't hear it again. And then you just hear the deep voice, like, mumbling and stomping off. Yeah. That just made me think of that, so sorry. It's why I'm interested in some of the things that I'm interested in, because they messed me up, man.
Have number 3. Now, this next individual got a little lost while on their way to a location due to a train station being under construction with lots of restricted areas. So in order to find his way around, he was using Google Maps. Now, Google Maps instructed him to go through this one path that was off limits. There was a plywood wall with a sign that read, "Under construction, unauthorized access, forbidden, no entry." However, he claims that people were entering and exiting through this door like it was no big deal. He also said that these people looked out of place. They weren't construction workers, but they were still
working my... I've been working construction my entire life. That's not weird at all. People just... What sign? Huh? What? The what? Your face is actually touching it, sir. Oh, that? They don't care. They don't care. So that's not weird to me at all.
still going in and out of the restricted area. Now, he thought that since other people were doing it, that he would trust Google Maps and go through it as well. He decided to follow a guy in through the door. However, when he emerged through the other side, it was an empty area completely under construction. The guy who he followed in was nowhere to be seen. Google Maps was telling him to keep going along this unpaved path. However, a man driving a construction tractor drove by him and gave him a weird look. He knew that he was out of place, so he decided to head back. When he went back through the door, other individuals were looking at him weirdly, just as he did when he saw the people. So basically, people were spawning and despawning out of nowhere. Literally as if they were just being created or deleted from a game. Maybe he just dreamt of this situation, or maybe Google Maps literally pointed him in the direction of the spawn point for humans in the world. We are now at our second spot. This one is by far one of the trippiest ones. It was submitted by the Reddit user Musical Moses. He states that him and his buddies were returning home from a road trip. He just got off the phone with his parents and told them that they would be home in about 25 minutes. However, as they continued driving, they rounded the corner and the road ahead of them was completely empty. There were no cars ahead or behind them. He then claims that everything went black for a moment. The dashboard lights went off and even the headlights. Even the music stopped playing. Then everything went back to normal. The CD restarted from the beginning and they now could see a car ahead of them being pulled over by a cop, which wasn't there a second ago. Now, the passenger just shook it off, thinking he fell asleep and then woke up later on. But the other passengers in the car all experienced the same thing, even the driver. The scariest thing of all was that the clock showed that it was an hour later. And when they arrived to the house, even their parents asked what took them so long, when they said they were only 25 minutes away. So all of them lost an hour of time and don't know what happened. Some people believe that they were tired from the road trip and dozed off, but everyone at the same time, and even the driver who somehow still managed to steer the car, doesn't make sense to me. And he's one good of a driver if he can drive while sleeping. And in our number one spot, we have the man who called himself. I mean, I hate answering my phone as it is, but imagine picking up the phone and talking to yourself on the other line, because that's literally what happened to this next dude. In the early 2000s, a man by the name of Taylor was working as a corrections officer in a juvenile detention center in Oklahoma. Now, one night he arrived at work and his supervisor asked him what he was doing there. Apparently, he called in a few hours prior to his shift saying he was sick and couldn't come in. For that moment, the whole night kept getting weirder. He went on to look at the notes taken from when he called in sick. It was noted that he called in at 6:50 and said he was sick while outside cleaning up after the storm. Taylor said that there was a storm the night before, but there was nothing outside that he really cleaned up. Continuing on, he was a little freaked out and decided to call his wife to talk about it. But when he called, a man answered the phone. He checked the phone to make sure that it was the right number that he dialed, and it was. Taylor asked this man who he is and he says, "This is Taylor. Who is this?" Taylor then asks Taylor where his wife Ann is, and the man says that she's in bed. Now Taylor rushed home to check on his wife and found her on the couch watching TV. He tried to call his work from home, but the phone line was dead. When he returned back to work, his buddy Dave told him that he picked up the phone after him and the guy on the phone sounded just like him, but he witnessed Taylor leaving, so it couldn't have been. Later on that night, he found out that the phone line had been knocked over that night before by the storm. Whew. Now, one guy commented saying that he believes in one reality, Taylor went outside to fix the phone line and that's how he got sick. He then called into work saying he couldn't come. But in the other reality, the other version, Taylor didn't go outside and didn't get sick, which caused a glitch and is why he was able to communicate with himself.
In our number 9 spot today, we have this bird glitch. This glitch comes from a Reddit user called
What's happening? Are they playing a trick on me? Wasn't that number one? Who's this chick? What is happening? Whatever.
XP00 from a time they captured some birds behaving very strangely. I'll just let you take a look at it first and then we can discuss.
Yeah, okay, sorry. In all the excitement of a brand new woman and list and glitch and things. Here we go. If you didn't know what I was talking about, buckle your seatbelt, folks. It's about to get weird around here. Not the one I was talking about. Just kidding. Never mind.
When I first watched this,
It's not a glitch. It's Sparrow? Sparrow? I forget what bird it is, but that's not a glitch. They do that. It's like a dance they do. Yeah. I know weird things.
I 100% thought it was photoshopped. I truly could not believe what I was seeing because there is just no way. From the coordination of the flying all the way to the ripples of color changes, I thought this was just made up or truly a huge glitch in the Matrix. As it turns out, there's actually an explanation for this. This is called a murmur and is basically a defensive posture that birds take. It truly is one of the coolest things I have ever seen, and there are more videos of it that you...
It's not defensive. It's a dance they perform. It's like a ritual. I read all about it. Yeah. Anyway.
Can look up because it is fascinating. I feel like I would be the one bird who just didn't get the new choreo memo because this looks intricate. In our number 8 spot today, we have people frozen in time. In September of 2019, a Buffalo, New York resident caught this extremely eerie and uncomfortable glitch in the Matrix. A woman was driving past a park when she needed to take out her camera and record what was going on because it truly is so bizarre. A bunch of people in a park were completely frozen still. And it wasn't like one group of people in the park who were just trying to do something. It was every single person that was there. Maybe there was some kind of weird piece of performance art that involved a lot of people or something, because that is the only explanation that I can think of. Do you see what I mean by this just being the creepiest thing? I just can't shake the bad feeling that this video gives me. In our number 7 spot today, we have this man.
Suddenly, my bird isn't so special.
Manhole cover glitch.
On Earth is this one bouncing around so madly, so freely, as if it's as light as a feather.
I'm not sure if these have the same names in every country, but this video is in reference to a manhole cover. You know those really heavy metal lids that go on top of the holes that lead to the sewer? They're designed to be extremely heavy so that people can't just waltz into the sewer system whenever they feel like, which is probably a good thing, but this video would make it seem otherwise. This video is very short, but it shows one of these covers basically just bouncing up and down as if it is lightweight and there's air coming up from underneath it. It would take a lot of air to do this, considering the typical cover weighs 113 kilos or 249 pounds. It makes it seem like something is down there pushing up on it, but what could be strong enough? And also, why is anyone in there at all? And also, shouldn't someone be helping if there really is someone down there? This is all to say, I really cannot explain this one, so it truly must be a glitch in the simulation of our reality. In our number 6 spot today, we have this rain glitch. This video was taken by a man in Paris when the weather was acting unlike anything I have ever seen. It's not abnormal for rain to hit one part of a city while the other part has clear skies, but this takes that one step further. The skies are cloudy, so it's not completely abnormal to see rain, but it is just raining in one spot. One tiny spot is absolutely pouring rain, seemingly out of nowhere, but everywhere else is not raining. At first I thought that maybe someone from up above is pouring water, but the video does pan up for you to see nothing above this random rainfall. If there is a scientific explanation for this, please leave it in the comments because this one is honestly unbelievable.
Have you guys ever experienced that? Not that. That's friggin' weird. Very weird. I thought it was pretty strange. We went to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania when I was in my teens. And on our way there, we were in a 4-lane highway. The entire right side that we were on was downpouring. And at the guardrail, I kid you not, the guardrail was the divider. At the guardrail, it stopped raining. And the other side of the highway, northbound, was bone dry. Absolutely not. One car had wipers on. It was bone dry. No rain at all. Our 4 lanes downpouring. Their 4 lanes bone dry. Pretty weird. Pretty weird indeed. And then it just stopped raining. It's not like the storm moved, you know. It's pretty weird. But that? I don't even know how you explain that. That is very weird.
Number 5 spot today, we have this propeller glitch. This video comes from a flight to Edinburgh. A passenger began taking a video of the propeller on the side of the plane when they caught this strange glitch in the matrix. This propeller is of course moving, or at least we all hope it is.
It's not a glitch. Guys, you lose credibility in all your content when you put out stuff that people know the answer to. I don't even know that much about these things, but I know that's not a glitch. It's rotating at a speed that the camera cannot keep up with. Have you ever heard of frames per second? Yeah? Well, it can only capture so many frames per second. So it gives it the illusion. Same with our eyes. Our eyes can't keep up with it. The camera can't. Our eyes can't. Nobody can. It's spinning too fast. So it gives it the illusion that it's either not spinning. Sometimes it looks like it's spinning backwards. Have you ever watched the wheel on a car when you're driving down the highway? Same thing. That's not a glitch, man. Come on.
But it appears as if it isn't. This is most likely due to the speed of the propeller and the camera not being able to pick up its speed. But man...
Okay, if you know these things, why is it on your list, ma'am?
Does this video make it look strange? The video has this...
It's extremely cool. I get it, but I mean, we know why it's looking like that. So what's the point of talking about it?
Weird effect where it looks like it's almost sped up or something. It's super strange how it appears as though the propeller is moving either up or down based on the direction he moves the phone. Definitely a cool but very strange video that you could definitely use to freak your friends out. In our number 4 spot today, we have this plane glitch. This video comes from Moscow and shows what looks like a plane completely stuck in the air.
I've seen this. Guys, I kid you not, I almost wrecked my mom's Jeep because this happened to me. On everything I love. Okay? On everything I love. I'm going to my mom's house to do some work for her. She bought a house to flip and you have to go by her house to get to this house. Whatever. She lives by an army base that is no longer in service. Like it's empty. It's gone. Nobody's there anymore. They shut it down. I'm driving through the windy roads and it's Maine. It's pretty thick woods and stuff. Well, you come through this little S-turn in the road where it opens up a little bit. Like some of the land is cleared out to the left. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a huge cargo plane. Literally, like, you could barely see light between the top of the trees and the plane. That's how low it was. It was, like, right there. Not moving. Not moving. Sitting just like this. Sitting there. Yeah. I almost wrecked her car. And then there was like a sheriff and a cop or whatever else. And I'm just so paranoid because I wasn't the most stand-up citizen in my teen years. So the paranoia stuck with me a little bit. So I abandoned ship. But this happened to me on everything I love. Absolutely scared the life out of me. I flew into my mom's house at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm like, you're not going to believe this.
This is of course impossible, so you can understand everyone's disbelief when they first see this video. Imagine just casually driving down the road and witnessing this. I guess the only appropriate response would be to capture it on video, because how else would you explain this to anyone?
I tried. Didn't work out. Almost died.
Anyone else. I'm going to assume that this is some sort of optical illusion, but it is just very strange to see a plane that is that close to the ground that isn't either ascending or descending. It is possible that the clear skies made it more difficult to see the movement of the plane, but whatever really happened here, it definitely is strange. In our number 3 spot today, we have this reflection glitch. This video comes from TikTok and shows a very confused driver in traffic. This man started filming a car that was slightly ahead of him in the next lane when he noticed something was really off. The man is in a convertible and his reflection can be seen in one of the side mirrors. You can see this man moving his head around in his car, which is normal because he is of course a human being, but what isn't normal is the fact that his reflection is not moving along with him. It really is one of those things you have to see to believe.
Right? And his face is moving, but look at that, his face just moved, but the guy in the mirror is seeing the same. Yo, the Matrix is broken.
You guys, this one was a weird glitch, and if it wasn't a glitch, the only other explanation I have is that maybe he's a ghost. Either way, something weird is happening over there. In our number 2 spot today, we have this Tyson fight glitch. This one takes place in 1995, and it may be a glitch, but it also could be a time traveler. This video is from a Mike Tyson fight, and while Tyson is of course the star of the video, there is a person in the audience who caught everyone's attention, and for a good reason. This fight, like I said, took place in 1995, but when you peek into the audience, it appears as though someone is taking their own video with what looks like a smartphone. This gadget that they are holding doesn't look like most cameras for the time and very closely resembles our smartphone cameras, with the lens not being in the center but more off to the side. I know it was kind of difficult to see, but did you guys see that person on the left? I honestly don't know what to make of it or really how to explain this one. In our number 1 spot today, we have this dance battle glitch. This video shows some kind of dance battle, which I am absolutely here for until things get a little weird. It is a b-boy style dance-off, and one kid is wearing a red hat, which he throws into the audience. Shortly after he throws the hat, he is doing some breakdancing on the floor when the red hat literally reappears out of nowhere. This kid is not only a great dancer, but also apparently a magician, because how the heck does this even happen? I honestly watched this video probably 20 times trying to figure out how difficult to see, but did you guys see that person on the left? I honestly don't know what to make of it or really how to explain this one. In our number 1 spot today, we have this dance battle glitch. This video shows some kind of dance battle, which I am absolutely here for until things get a little weird. It is a b-boy style dance-off, and one kid is wearing a red hat, which he throws into the audience. Shortly after he throws the hat, he is doing some breakdancing on the floor when the red hat literally reappears out of nowhere. This
So, what? What? Like, I was assuming the hat, like, sometimes you see these dancers where they'll, like, slide it up in the back of their shirt and then keep breakdancing and then let it come out or do something along those lines to create an illusion. That hat flew across the room. I saw it with my own eyes. What?
This kid is not only a great dancer, but also apparently a magician, because how the heck does this even happen? I honestly watched this video probably 20 times trying to figure out how and when this could have happened, but I am absolutely stumped.
Starting off this countdown, we have the glitching cat.
What is happening? How many top 10s are in this video? Am I in a glitch right now? Like, am I currently in a glitch? Because I'm pretty positive I clicked on a video that said it was 10 minutes long. I stay away from 30-minute long videos so I don't have to edit and upload hour-long reactions. Here we are, though.
Either this cat is walking on an invisible treadmill or it was caught glitching. Recently, this video was uploaded to Reddit and it features a cat walking but staying perfectly in one place. So you might be thinking, aw, poor kitty, the ground must be slippery for them. And that's why it's having trouble walking. No, because a couple seconds into the video, a confused man walks by and the cat stops, turns to him, and then walks in his direction. But then it turns back and starts walking in the spot again. Is this a glitch in the Matrix?
What
or should I say glitch in the Meowtrix? Sorry. In our 9th spot, we have the
What the hell?
television. Posted on Reddit by user Spice Rack, he was trying to take a photo of his kittens when he caught a huge glitch on camera. They explained that they were trying to capture a photo of the hidden cat on the gray blanket. When he showed his friends, they're like, yo dude, look at your TV. Turns out that the TV screen is showing a different image than its reflection in the mirror. Now, a lot of people tried to debunk this. He thought maybe he took the photo sideways with a professional camera, since cameras snap the photo from up to down. That could explain the change. But the poster verified that it was taken horizontally with an LG G5 with a 135-degree wide-angle lens, hence why the door at the side looks a bit warped. He didn't use panorama, and no stitching was involved, and it wasn't done intentionally. This was taken as a single shot. Quite weird, huh? What are the odds? Moving on, at number 8, we have the disappearing motorists. No, this isn't proof of teleportation. They aren't driving into a portal and transporting somewhere miles away, although it certainly looks like that. I don't know about you, but when I first saw this video, I was mind blown. Like, I really thought they were going to be driving off the road and into the water. Now, someone on Reddit has managed to debunk this one. Seems as if whoever is filming this is high up on a building looking down, and the water we see is actually just the top of a wet building. But the way it's angled makes it look like they're really going under a bridge and disappearing. Let me know if you see it now.
Oh, wow.
In our 7th spot today, we had the sky glitch. Posted by Reddit user Grimsby.
That totally had me for a second. Perception is everything.
545. They were headed to their friend's house when they legitimately saw the sky glitching and took a picture of the moment. Look at that. The sky didn't know if it was night or daytime. Now, I have seen the sunset, but I have never seen the sky do something like this. Now, some think that it's just a giant cloud blocking the sky. If it is, then that's one massive dark cloud, like it literally blocked the sun and majority of the sky. Either way, it looks like a glitch in the Matrix where the nighttime sky didn't load completely. Moving on, at number 6, we have the broken bracelet. Now, this is probably one of the weirdest glitches in the Matrix of all time. So, Reddit user Miss MXSN posted on Reddit about how she found a bead from her bracelet on her floor while sweeping. She immediately thought, oh no, my bracelet broke. But it didn't. The bracelet still had 15 gems and 15 turtles on it. But all of a sudden, she had this extra turtle bead. Plus, the bracelet was perfectly fine. Now, people immediately shared a number of different theories with her. One was that her bracelet broke and someone in her family bought a replacement one so that she wouldn't notice. Only problem with this is that she claims she never takes this bracelet off and it was bought while she was on vacation, so it's not just from a local store. Another person thought maybe the bead had a fine crack in it and it slipped off the string. But like she said, she always had 15 turtles on the bracelet, and that's how many she still had. Plus, upon inspection of the turtle bead, there were no cracks or flaws. So something glitched and she ended up with an extra bead. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the cat dog. This is another video making its rounds on TikTok right now. Let me show it to you. So it appears as if the camera person's neighbor's dog is up on the roof. But you might be thinking, where is its body? Well, it looks like it's just peeking its head up onto the roof to see what's going on, right? Wrong. Let's see the full video. That's right. It's a cat, folks.
Whoa!
The whole time, that was a cat. So this cat has a dog's face on its backside. How trippy and glitchy is that? That's a plot twist no one was expecting. In our 4th spot, we have the doubled up cars. Now, what are the odds of 2 of the exact same cars parking next to each other? And not in a dealership parking lot. Having the same make and model and color of the car being parked right next to you is pretty rare, right? Now, what are the odds of another set of identical cars being parked behind these identical cars? It's a very slim chance of this happening, but it happened in real life. So not only are the 2 blue Audis identical, but check the cars in the back as well. You got 2 identical Range Rovers back there. Someone out there really said copy paste, copy paste. Coming in at number 3, we have the spawning in. Now this video is another one going viral on TikTok right now, and it's baffling a lot of people. But basically, a security camera caught a man appearing out of nowhere. Check it out. Is this evidence of a man using his teleportation skills? How on earth did he just spawn out of nowhere? Now, of course, he could have been hanging out of the side of the van, or he jumped out while the van was still in motion. But if that was me and I jumped off of a moving van, I would have been like, whoa, you know, try and get my balance. But this guy was standing still, not off balance or anything. So let me know what you think. Did he jump out of a moving van and stick his landing? Or is he a teleporter? Or both? Coming in at number 2, we have the triplets. Bus passengers were shocked when they got on a bus and saw 3 identical looking men sitting in a straight line and all asleep. These men are complete strangers, yet they somehow all got on the same bus, all sat behind each other, and all decided to take a wee snooze. I just can't get over the fact that these men aren't related. Like, the first 2 could definitely pass as twins. This is just weird. Like, what are the odds? And in our number 1 spot today, we have the crossword ladies. If you thought that last picture was crazy, wait until you take a look at this one. These ladies are complete strangers, yet they look like twins and they're both dressed identically. They both are rocking some black pants with the exact same patterned blouse. They have glasses on their face and they both have a pair of dark sunglasses on the top of their head. Not only that, but they both have a love for crosswords as they are both doing one. Like, someone will look at this photo and think that it was set up.
There's something going on here. What? No, she's got a shoulder strap. No shoulder strap. And their glasses are different on the face. What the heck?
But no, these women are complete strangers. Again, literally somebody said, copy paste.
Wow. That was interesting and much longer than I thought. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, man. That was a little wacky. I can't believe There was 3 glitch top 10s back to back to back. None of them had the bird. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there in this wacky world we live in. Peace out, Saucey fam.